All right, let's just jump right in with a huge question. If you had to pick one single food, hands down the healthiest thing on the entire planet, what would it be? Today we're going to figure out what science says is the undisputed champion of all foods.
No, seriously, what comes to mind? Is it kale? Maybe some exotic berry from the Amazon? Or one of those trendy superfood powders? The real answer? Well, it's something way more fundamental, and something that no lab has ever been able to copy.
So, what's the big deal about this food? It's not just packed with vitamins and minerals. This thing is alive. It actually trains your immune system how to function. It literally builds your gut health from scratch, which sets the foundation for your entire life. And get this, it literally adapts to you in real time, packed with living cells, even stem cells. There is absolutely nothing else like it.
Okay, so the answer is human breast milk. Yeah, probably not what you were guessing, right? But stick with me here, because once you understand what it actually does, it all makes perfect sense. And the lessons we can learn from it are absolutely crucial for our health as adults.
All right, let's get into the how. How does this living superfood actually work? I mean, we're not just talking about basic nutrition here. We're talking about building a person's entire core operating system right from the very beginning. Okay, so a quick immunology lesson. Your immune system kind of has two modes. There's the one you build up over your life by getting sick and getting better. That's acquired immunity. But then there's your innate immunity. Think of it like the factory settings you come with. Well, breast milk is like a direct software update from the mother's fully developed immune system. It gives the baby a massive, incredible head start. And this software update isn't just a temporary boost. We're talking about lifelong advantages. Research consistently shows people who are breastfed tend to have stronger immune systems, fewer allergies, and lower rates of autoimmune diseases. And one of the coolest parts? Breast milk has these special sugars that aren't even for the baby to digest. They're there specifically to feed the good gut bugs, building that healthy microbiome from day one. Now, that very first milk is something else entirely. It's called colostrum. And the newborn starter kit analogy is just perfect. It's this super concentrated shot of immune protection that basically boots up the baby's defenses right out of the gate.
Okay, so that's the gold standard. But what about the alternative that most people turn to today? Yep, infant formula. And according to the research we're looking at, well, they couldn't be more different. Yeah, the source material here is pretty blunt. It calls infant formula, and I'm quoting, basically junk food. It goes on to say it's a chemistry project, not food. The argument is that, sure, it provides calories to keep a baby alive, but it's not actually building health the way real food does. And this really breaks down the core difference, right? On one hand, you have breast milk. It's alive, it's dynamic, it changes. On the other hand, you have formula, which is static. It's a product designed to hit specific numbers on a nutrition label. And to do that, it often relies on things like industrial seed oils, corn syrup, and lab-made vitamins, a whole different world from living cells and hormones. And this isn't just a philosophical debate about what's natural. There are real-world implications. The source we're explaining points to a pretty recent analysis. They tested 41 different kinds of infant formula, and what they found? Well, it's pretty concerning. A lot of them contained heavy metals. And you have to remember, for a tiny newborn with a brain developing at lightning speed, that kind of exposure is it's incredibly harmful. Okay, so we get it. Breast milk is incredible, and the modern substitute has some serious issues. But what about us? What about adults? Obviously, that's not an option. But can we take the principles behind it and find the next best thing? So the obvious first thought is just regular milk, right? Cow's milk. I mean, it's a huge part of our diet. But is that really the answer we're looking for?
Well, according to our source, the answer is a pretty clear no. And the biggest villain here is processing. That process of pasteurization, heating the milk to make it last longer on the shelf, it also wipes out a lot of the good stuff, the beneficial enzymes, the immune factors, all the things that make milk powerful in its raw state. So if pasteurized milk is out, then what's left? Well, the answer isn't some new high-tech food. It's actually ancient. It's something people have been doing for thousands of years all over the globe, fermented dairy. The whole idea is beautiful in its simplicity, really. You take dairy, you add some good bacteria, and then you just let them do their thing. And as they work, they completely transform it, creating all these new powerful nutrients that weren't in the original milk. I love the analogy the source uses here, microbes as tiny factories. You're basically giving these little bacteria the raw materials, in this case, the milk sugar or lactose, and in return, they churn out a whole bunch of brand new, super healthy compounds. And just look at the output from these tiny factories. You get vitamin K2, which is crucial for getting calcium into your bones and teeth. The lactose gets eaten up, which is great news for anyone who's intolerant. The minerals become easier for your body to absorb, what we call more bioavailable. And of course, you get all those amazing probiotics that help balance your immune system.
But that's not all. The party keeps going. Fermentation also creates a ton of B vitamins. B2, B12, folate, biotin. It just keeps adding more and more nutritional value to the mix.
And again, this isn't some new fad. This is deep, ancient wisdom. You look at any ancient culture anywhere in the world, and you'll find their own version of fermented dairy. Whether it's yogurt or kefir or cheese, they all figured it out. It was a genius way to make food last, but they were also unlocking its true nutritional power.
So let's bring it all home. What's the bottom line? Well, nothing on Earth is a perfect match for human breast milk. The argument here is that for adults, fermented dairy comes pretty darn close. It gives you so many of those same gut-building, immune-balancing benefits.
Which leaves us with a really interesting question to chew on, doesn't it? We're always looking for the next big thing in nutrition, the new supplement, the exotic superfood. But what if the real secrets to our health aren't in some futuristic lab? What if they've been right here with us all along, hidden in our past?